Vince McMahon are not happy with the current WWE product. Hi, welcome to another edition. Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comment section. Like and share the video as well. Brought to you via ringsidenews.com. Vince McMahon is said to be very upset with the recent drop of ratings on WWE programming, especially when they hit the record low against the first presidential debate. While Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump is more important than Roman Reigns versus Rusev, Vince is taking the issue seriously and will be making some big changes soon. They've already started making some small changes, such as dropping the term WWE Universe and just returning to the term fans when referencing the audience. Changes to the entrance ramp are other small modifications that were made recently also. So yeah, there's more expected in the foreseeable future as well. So, well, I mean, first and foremost, what is wrong on Monday Night Raw is the length of the show. 3 hours is too long. I mean, you look back to the dying days of WCW, it was 3 hours Monday Night Show, and I said from the start that 3 hours of Raw doesn't work. It's too long. Movies that are that length of time, I don't find them interesting. I can't keep myself interested for 3 hours watching the same thing. And even when you watch Raw without the adverts, say you don't watch it live and you can skim through the adverts, it still seems like a long show and it seems a long time to be concentrated on. I personally think that Raw as well always has these filler segments in it where they haven't got enough content to fill the time. So why have 3 hours? Make sure that everything that you see is quality rather than quantity. We don't need it. If we don't need it, don't show it. I mean, matches like we see in the past week on Raw, like Sami Zayn versus Titus O'Neil, that could be on Superstars or Main Event. We don't need to see that match. Of course, yes, it gives these guys a bit of exposure on the main television screens, but if it isn't going to be going anywhere, it doesn't need to be on our television sets. Now, of course, yeah, there are some of these terms. I mean, they're saying like the WWE Universe. Yes, of course, I don't see one using the term fans. But the main other thing they need to change, in my opinion, is the creative side of things. They need to give us storylines that make us feel like we're invested into the characters and make us want to watch the program more. I mean, you have to look at this and say on the Raw side, they're not really doing that very well. Even perhaps across the board in WWE, it's not amazing. But the one storyline I can turn around and say, this is an example of the direction you should be taking us, is The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. That storyline has been done very well, tastefully on both sides of it. The Miz is now seen as very important after the talking smack with Daniel Bryan, put some real issues and made it feel like it was believable when he was talking to Daniel Bryan. You then look at Dolph Ziggler and his career, how it's been going on a downward spiral, and now he's put his career on the line after he could not defeat The Miz a couple of times in matches after being cheated out of them. It kind of really feels like it's come together and it's made a real big story, and it feels like there's some genuine emotion in the rivalry that we're watching. Of course, I'm not saying people need to put their careers on the line all the time. Of course, a lot of the time when they do that, I get annoyed actually, because 9 times out of 10, it normally means that they're actually going to win the match, not lose it. But in Dolph Ziggler's case, we're not actually entirely sure, and I think there just needs to be a bit more doubt when you're watching WWE programming, and a bit more feel of realism as well. I think some matches, when you see some of these spectacular moves, yeah, they look great, but sometimes they're not sold very much. And of course, when you see backstage attacks and stuff like this, people are back on the show late on the same night, whether it's on Raw or SmackDown, or you normally see them on the next show. And I think sometimes when you look at the examples like NXT, people are not on there for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. You've got time for storylines to really develop and blossom, and is there more hint of what feels like is more realistic? I mean, if someone's attacked, they're not going to be walking up and attacking someone again in an hour. They're going to be out of the picture altogether. So for me, really, I kind of feel that WWE kind of needs to take more of a storyline where it kind of looks like it's going to be at least a bit more realistic, a chance for us to really suspend our disbelief, because currently some of the stuff we're not seeing, it's not creative enough, it's not believable, and as well, it's too long. And I think that is probably the 3 key issues with WWE right now that they need to address. So for me, Raw needs to go back to 2 hours, because at least with SmackDown Live for 2 hours, I find the show a good length and I can watch that no problem. With Raw, it's just too long, and I think by the 3rd hour, I've had enough and I'm ready for it to kind of finish really at that point. It gets to almost to the degree where I don't care who wins and loses the matches. It's almost to that kind of degree, and I think that that's not even good from a fan who's been watching the product for a long time. And if that's from someone who's been watching it for a long time, think about the casual viewer. The casual viewer is not going to be interested either. They're going to be flicking the channel back over, and they've got competition like Monday Night Football or the presidential debate going on. They're going to be watching that sort of stuff instead. But that's my feelings anyway. Let me know your feelings in the comment section. You've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching and taking the time to choose the video, and make sure to subscribe. And my No Mercy, WWE No Mercy preview and predictions video is up on the channel, so check that out right now. And yep, I'll see you for any more breaking news on this channel here next time. Take care.